That one hurt.
Yo.
That one hurt. That's really all you can say about that one.
For real. First, like, really good competitive game from the Bulls so far. Man. Woo.
That one hurt.
Leading most of the fourth quarter, and it came down to a shot from Lee of the Warriors with 5 seconds left. Man.
What did you see? Because I think we have to, at least how I run it, how I feel about it. Let's start with the positive.
Right.
What did you see from this Bulls team that you liked tonight?
The biggest takeaway is Wendell Carter Jr. with 20 and 12.
Absolutely.
Very, exceeding my expectations. During the live stream of the game, I'm on tape demanding at least 10 and 10 from him.
And you asked for 10 and 10, and he gave you more than that.
20 and 12, so I'm happy. 20 points, 12 rebounds. Need that. If we can average that, that puts him on a different level. That adds a lot to this team. That opens up a lot for the perimeter players, for your 1 and 2, for mainly your Zach LaVines and your Kobe Whites. So I like that. Defensively, we saw a lot of energy, especially in that fourth quarter, with the exception of that last possession.
I'm gonna be real with you. I can't hate on the last possession all the way, just because I'm like, okay, yes, Damian Lee beat us,
right?
But if anybody's gonna beat us, it cannot be Stephen Curry.
Right. Steph did not have the ball. We did go under the screen, for that Lee shot at the end, but that is what it is. We're gonna if they're gonna live and die on a last minute shot from Lee. We're gonna take it or leave that, but we have something to build on. I would certainly hope that the Bulls take from this game some identity.
Mm-hmm.
Screen and rolls between our Wendell Carter Jr. and Kobe White. Very good, worked very well in this game. Have to do better at the free throw line, but they did get to the free throw line very often. So that mattered a lot. Making the refs make those calls throughout the game.
I think the most important thing is you gotta cut down on the turnovers.
Definitely,
you have to cut down on the turnovers. Because,
what are we in with?
Let me see what they ended with in the turnover battle on that. But to me, that's the biggest thing, because you think about, now granted, you did a decent job of keeping them keeping their scoring off of your turnovers low.
Yes.
But the problem is, let's see, turnovers. Points off of turnovers, 18. Okay, maybe I was wrong. 18. There was only 5 going into the half. I was feeling good about it. 18 off turnovers, 24 turnovers for the Bulls. When you lose the turnover battle, you're going to lose the game.
Got to keep that less than 10. In a very good game, we need that less than 10.
Right.
Yes. Less than 10 would be ideal, because those are points that the Warriors aren't able to capitalize on, as well as those are
points that you can possibly get,
and those are possible substance, possessions for you, offensive possessions for you.
Yeah.
So we, like I said, toward the end of the game, we got a lot more decisive. Passing was a lot more decisive. We know where we're going with the ball. We're coming up the floor with confidence. Zach LaVine playing that leader role, and when we needed a bucket, give me the ball. He's not waiting for anybody to. He's taking that opportunity, and then got the shot he wanted at the end of the game, which was very good. So that's something.
And you know that Steve Kerr's going to go for the W. Yeah. You knew that he wanted to shoot the 3 there. That's the one thing that you had to guard. Is the one thing that I will say that I didn't like there. You knew that he wanted to shoot the 3 there, and you didn't do a great job of stopping the 3-point shot from coming in. But I really believe that we saw improvement from this team.
Oh, definitely. They denied Steph the ball.
Yeah.
And then, put it in somebody else's hands, make somebody else shoot the shot. I'll take that. I mean, for a shooter is a shooter. We don't want to go under the screen. We want to go over the screen in that defensive sequence. But other than that, you definitely in a scouting report, you want to make anybody else but Steph Curry beat you.
Right.
And in that instance, the odds fell in the Warriors' favor. So shout out to him.
And it's not by lack of play. I mean, listen, that's a tough loss. One, you lose Larry Markkinen down the stretch due to a little bit of an ankle injury. I don't think we saw him get back in the game at all.
Rolled it a little bit, yeah.
After that, looked like he rolled it a little bit, and they just kind of kept him out. Just like Matt's saying here, it seems like Wendell finally found some confidence in himself.
Yes.
You got to love what we saw there. Wendell, 22-13. You give me 22 and 13 every night. I don't care on what kind of shooting. You give me 22 and 13. You can be a big man on my team any day. You would be a big man on my team any day.
Definitely, my boy. I'm with it.
And I think that the most important thing that this Bulls team has to look forward to is that they can still do a lot. This is game 3. This is game 3, and we got P.Kidd getting ready to join in whenever he gives us the thumbs up. This is game 3. You know what I'm saying? And so I can't look at this Bulls team and say, "Oh my God, I can't believe that this just happened." Exactly. I can believe it happened. The thing is, how do they grow from this? How do they grow from this? And I think there's a few things that we saw that they can absolutely grow from. Ladies and gentlemen, we got P.Kidd checking in to the live right now.
Gang.
Kid, what's good with you? How you feeling, my boy?
I'm good. Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, I hear you. You hear me?
Beautiful. AD, what's good, man? Listen, y'all did a great job. I just want to say that. Appreciate
job. You, my boy.
Thank you, brother.
I'm like, yeah.
Definitely appreciate you. Let's get your view on it. You are Mr. Basketball.
Yes,
I mean, I definitely know that you were tuned into the game. What did you see from this Bulls team that you liked and that you disliked?
All right, so we're breaking down 2 different ways. I love the fact that they played like some of the pieces that we've been trashing the start of the season showed up. I love that. I don't like the fact that it happened against the Warriors. Our most complete game happened against the Warriors. Now, here's the thing. In basketball, you kind of need these games against weaker teams to kind of build your confidence to go against those tougher teams. But to me, it kind of proves very little because we're talking about Golden State. Which it's hard to say because we're talking about a team that was, 2-3 years ago, we're talking about world champs, and now we're talking about top of the trash pile. So it's one of those things that's like, let's be real. But
I think what we were talking about is a team that, like you said, top of the trash pile probably based on how they've started off this season, but
being in the West,
and being in the West for sure. Well, listen, you can be top of the trash pile just by being a 500 team in the West. But
they're not looking like a 500 team in the West.
They're not. But here's the thing: still got Steph Curry, and we saw it tonight. A crew of players who are not playing up to the potential that they should be at.
Right.
Who would have thought we'd be seeing Kelly Oubre Jr. this season not being able to hit any shot outside of 2 feet from the rim?
Dog, if Kelly Oubre Jr. shot better, this is not a game.
Yeah, it would have been.
This is not a game.
Down much more.
Steph Curry with a solid, not a great, not a just a solid player on the side is winning this game.
Yeah.
So at this point, I mean, listen, I'm happy that we were competing. I would like to say that I'm happy we won, but that was just a demoralizing thing. But hey, listen, it's Steph Curry. People like to say he ain't clutch and stuff like that. Listen, it's Steph Curry. He's going to go down as the greatest shooter to have ever played the game of basketball. And the only unanimous MVP ever? So listen, you expect him to do these things, right? But I tell you what this did show me, because I love the output that we had. Honestly, this kind of shows me that we might need to move some pieces. And I think, honestly, if anything, I'm moving Kobe White while his trade value is high.
For what? So what are you looking?
So you're giving up on Kobe already?
I'm giving again. He's just not what we need.
Gotcha. He doesn't fit the scheme.
27-5.
That's great. That's great. I love the fact that he put up some numbers. I never said he couldn't play.
No,
he's just not what we need on this particular team.
What are you asking for him? That's what I need to hear.
We're asking for someone to actually command our offense.
1-for-1? Like we need.
Oh, you mean? Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. You're talking about in trade value. I honestly don't know. To be honest with you, I can't. I don't want to sit there and like throw out some scenarios that I don't know what we can get. But the more that he plays like this, the higher his value becomes for us to get someone who could kind of play that role. Because I
would at least want 2 players for him. Not what 2 players?
Not worth 2 players.
I would think he's worth 2 players.
He's not worth 2 players. What has he accomplished to be worth 2 players?
I think he's worth.
It depends on the 2 players.
That's what I'm saying. It would definitely
depends on the 2 players. I think Kobe is worth. I think this is the thing. It's about how you want to use Kobe. If you want to use Kobe as a traditional point who's setting up, if you want to use Kobe as what I said, there's more than 2 different, but there's 2 different kinds of point guards that he could be.
Right.
He could be a facilitating point guard that can score, or he can be a scoring point guard that can facilitate. And those are 2 hugely different things. Trae Young is a scoring point guard who can facilitate, but he facilitates.
I don't see him being a. I think he's a 2 guard.
Probably, and they're trying to put him into something that might not fit his role. But you don't think that there's a role for him on the Bulls as a 2?
Not with what we need, not with the talent that we have. We have enough talent on our team. We need someone to actually, set our offense up and do that. We don't need, like, honestly, I don't see a scoring point guard really doing what we needed to do, especially considering we got Zach LaVine there. If you look at all the teams that have good scoring point guards, they don't have a strong 2. Yeah. Their strongest 2 is not a Zach LaVine.
True.
The best example we can look at is like Devin Booker. Like we look at Chris Paul, but we look at Chris Paul as a traditional point who can score.
Yeah, Chris, I said Chris Paul is God tier point guard.
So. Yeah. So you break it down. Who is Trae Young's 2 guard?
Herder.
He's not Zach. He's not that caliber of 2 guard.
No.
Like you go down any of the top point guards, scoring point guards, they don't have a strong 2 outside of Russ and Bradley Beal.
Right.
And Russ is playing a traditional point role. He's passing abroad. So we need a true point. We need a true point guard on our team to set up our players.
Yeah, I don't know. This is my thing. I'm never ready to give up on somebody a year after we got them.
The Warriors with Clay is a good one though.
You said what? Oh yeah, the Warriors with Clay. The Warriors with Clay is a good one, but I mean at the same time, yes, but that team has always been like Clay's your 3, but kind of your 2, and Steph's your 2, but kind of your point. Right. And we'll just find somebody to be the 5th guy on this floor. Right. Like legitimately, when this team comes back together now, it'll be like, oh snap, there's a point guard and a shooting guard and a center and a small forward. Like they actually have that to be set up. You know what I'm saying? But I think the biggest thing to me with this Bulls team that I'm seeing, and you're ready to give up on Kobe. I'm not really ready to give up on Kobe. I know you're not saying that.
It's just trying to get
what I know you're saying move on from him while his stock is high. I would say let Billy Donovan evaluate.
Let's say Kyrie and Karis LeVert. Like, you really would put Karis LeVert?
Bro, hey, look, Muggs really be out here just coming up with the best trade values they can find, bro. And they'd be like, it works.
Yeah. Here's the thing.
Baki coming with a good one. Baki said Dame and CJ. That's a good one.
Here's the thing. I want to get some clarity to it. I'm not saying, because in this era of positionless basketball, stuff like that, it is true. You do have people who do multiple things. Yeah. Actually, let me know this. And you all let me know. Has Kobe White ever shown the ability to play a solid point guard? Has he ever, like, put in your mind as to what a solid point guard is?
No.
So Kobe White doesn't do that. That's what we need, though. So from that aspect alone, you just have to get what you need.
So you think this situation is more like a Steph Curry, Monte Ellis situation that we got going on right now?
Oh, that's a great analogy. Absolutely.
Because both of them were guys that could score the ball. Both of them were guys that kind of needed the ball in their hands to do what they did and saw some success. But it wasn't until you moved on from one of the 2 that you saw the highest success.
The Dame and CJ is one of those. It's like, I get it, but that ain't what we got. You know what I'm saying? Like, and CJ in himself is not the alpha in that dynamic, right? Kobe is vying for like the alpha role in so many cases. Like,
is he though? I don't know.
He kind of needs those type of touches.
Yeah, I don't know.
Player, he needs the touches. You ain't taking the touches from Zach though.
Like,
and the more touches he needs is less for Laurie, the less for all the other players we have.
But you know what? I'll say this: if the Bulls continue to play like they did tonight, where you see multiple guys getting involved, where you see multiple guys being the reason that the Bulls are putting up 100 and what did we finish with 128 points? I'm not mad at that. Kobe White at no point got in the way of what Zach LaVine was doing. Zach LaVine at no point in this game got in the way of what Wendell Carter was doing. Wendell Carter, no, they all worked together. They all facilitated together. They all did what they had to do together. That's how Billy Donovan run teams without a legit superstar, without a number one, are done. But we saw that this team at the end of the game relied on the guy who is their superstar, who is their star. I think he's more of a star right now than a superstar, but he is a star. Let's not disrespect the man. 33 tonight.
Yeah, Zach LaVine.
Yeah, Zach LaVine, 33 tonight.
Oh, yeah,
I think that you have a collection of players right now who are growing into a role. And I'm not even so much talking about Lowry. I'm not even so much talking about Wendell. I'm more so talking about the Pat Wills. You're trying to figure out what he's going to be in this starting lineup, Kobe White and Zach LaVine. Because I think the other two guys I think Wendell has a ceiling in this league. I just do. It might just be me. I love what he gave us tonight, but I think he has a ceiling in this league.
I think most of his
more impressed
personality-wise.
You said what?
Just being more boisterous.
You said what, kid?
I said I'm more impressed with Lowry's 23-7 than.
Oh yeah, for sure. And Larry went out. Larry went out with injury.
Yeah, I'm more impressed with that than anything else. And just because Larry has shown that he's a little more consistent, and because I actually want to see the other dude we got on the bench start. So I'm kind of biased. Yeah.
You want to see Gafford?
I would like to see Gafford.
I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I understand you got to get Garrett Temple in rhythm, but those 19 minutes that went to Garrett Temple were useless.
Like I said, he needs the reps. Temple needs the reps. And actually, I would like to see, like we've seen the larger lineup from Billy Donovan. I want to see what a small lineup looks like with maybe 2-3 point guards on the floor, and see how that does. See if we can run some type of a run and gun, or you know what I'm saying, type of offense.
I like what they all bring to the table, and I like that it's slowly coming together. You know what I'm saying? We in all honesty, the only thing we can see from this game that needs to improve, that really needs to improve, well, free throws too, but the thing that needs to improve most to me is the turnovers. There were times in this game, especially when the Warriors went to the full court press, that nobody knew what was going on.
Right. 24 turnovers. It's not going to work against better teams.
No.
24 turnovers.
It's absolutely not. And you gave up 18 points off of those turnovers. And so I think that you really have to look at what this team needs to improve on. And listen, we all said this coming into the season, right? We said, kids said that they're probably a 9th or a 10th seed. I said I can see them fighting for a playoff spot, but being a 9th seed, I think that bottom is all going to be there. You know, you were talking about 4. We don't know what you was talking about.
Early 4. Who said 4?
with so
whatever. I was like,
after 3 games, that is adjusted, severely adjusted.
Kid just hit you with the Jay Williams. Bro.
This was before the season. I was off the hype of Pat Williams. I was like, "Oh, we get a 4th seed."
That's a lot of crack right there. I'm just letting you know. A lot of crack.
Definitely. Wow, especially these last few games, we're definitely competing with the Atlantas, the Orlandos, the Detroits, for that 6, 7, 8.
Dog,
I don't think Detroit's in that mix at all. Really, they playing better to start the season.
And the Pacers,
I would say the Pacers are in that mix, and in the 6s, they're probably a 5-6 team. I think 7, 8. You're looking at us competing with Orlando and probably Atlanta.
I'm gonna say this. This is what I want to say real quick.
Devontae said you've been drinking.
That's a lot of drinking.
Listen. They shot 51% from the field. Have you all broke it down like this yet?
Not yet. Go ahead.
All right, let's do a quick breakdown real quick. 51% from the field. We shot 41% from 3, and we outplayed Golden State categories, which is tough. It is a really tough thing. Like, can you say we outshot Golden State? Yeah, we definitely did. Here's the thing: we still lost.
Right.
Right. Yeah. And in that loss, I tell you two things that stand out to me: so 24 turnovers and 74% from the free throw line.
Yeah.
Yep. Now, is that something that you can see them improving upon and continuing how they shot the ball tonight? Because Golden State definitely has defenders. They have Andrew Wiggins, who's a decent defender. Kelly Oubre is an above average defender. He's above decent. Kelly Oubre is a really good defender. We saw that when he picked Zach's pocket twice in a row.
They got a lockdown earlier.
Yeah.
I don't think it has anything to do with defense, though. It's all in how this is why I said we need a traditional point guard, because it's 24 turnovers.
Is that okay?
Has 17
that's your man Dotson.
No, but we can't look at the turnovers and just look at Kobe White on those, because a lot of those turnovers, I believe Zach had 6 of those, and they were just bad passes. They were cross court passes. Which
you're forcing your two guys to do things that he shouldn't be doing. Zach is worried about scoring. He ain't trying to set up nobody else.
No, I'm just saying the turnovers were a lot of the turnovers were just like I'm throwing it down low. It was indecisive from Wendell Carter Jr. at the top of the key. A lot of times the full court press. At least 3 of them were literally the full court press coming up and getting your pocket picked by Kelly Oubre.
And they were unclear on the screen and roll, because both Marketing and Wendell will go up to set the screen, see each other, try to run out of it, and then there's no screen.
Yeah.
So now, we have a Kobe White trying to create on his own, and then by that time, we have 8 seconds left on the clock, on the shot clock. So it's a lot of that.
Yeah, I think I agree. I agree. It's indecisiveness. I don't know why Dotson's not playing. I don't know if he's with the team. I don't know if you know what I'm saying. I think there's still a lot of.
Is the D League affiliate playing right now?
No, there's no G League right now.
Oh, sorry, G League.
There's no G League right now. And so I think that is the interesting thing. But I think it's like Kidd said, you have to cut down on the turnovers. Literally everything else the Bulls did well. Defensively,
everything.
Defensively,
turnovers.
You know what I'm saying? Defensively, you gave up 129 points. In today's NBA, is that good? Is that bad? That's real tough.
But to me, they decide when they want to turn the defense up and down. And I just need them to play on the upside of that spectrum through more consistently throughout the whole game. It may not change the end result in this particular game, but more defensive intensity would have helped.
For sure.
Would have helped.
If you're in the live right now, please like the video. Please subscribe to the page. We do talk Chicago sports weekly. We don't want you to miss a thing, so make sure that you hit that bell. Let us know in the comments how you guys feel. Ask us your questions in the comments as well. Bulls took the L tonight, 129-128 on a game-winning shot by Damian Lee.
Yes, very much.
But
who is he even?
Bro, but I think the thing was when we came out here, I said you cannot let Steph Curry touch this ball. And they didn't. Problem was somebody else got it, somebody shot the 3. You had to know Steph Curry, or you had to know that Steve Kerr is going for the win in that situation. Right. That's just who he is. Listen, he's knocked down 2 of those shots himself. He said, I'm always willing to gamble on the game-winning 3 because championship, baby.
Right.
But I think, do you see this Bulls team improving moving forward?
I'm gonna say something after AD. Go ahead, AD. You take that one.
Like I said, I find a lot of encouragement from Wendell Carter's 23 and 13.
Man said encouragement. Okay.
Like I find a lot in that. That's what I want out of my 4 and 5. I need at least 10 and 10. If you really want to be offensive minded, we get what we saw from tonight. We'll be toward the 20 and 12 range.
Right.
I need that. Plus, like I said, they didn't lay down. Last night I saw a lack of intensity on the defensive end, and then depending on the lineup, they decided to have a sense of pride.
Yeah.
I need some intensity throughout the whole game and a decisiveness. They have to find out who they are and how they want to play. And I think Billy is letting them figure that out.
I personally think that they get better, but they get better with working within the system that Billy is trying to implement. If you notice, every system that Billy has had has had some type of veteran leadership on it.
For sure.
right? And I think that's what we're really missing. We're missing.
I think this team really misses Thad Young.
It's supposed to be Temple. Temple is supposed to be, but he's new himself.
You said what?
I'm sorry. Who's supposed to be the veteran leadership here?
Temple.
He said Garrett Temple. I said this team more so misses Thad Young. Thad Young not being on the floor to get out there with those guys and be like, hey, look, especially Wendell. Yeah. You saw him on the sideline. Every time Wendell went to the side, hey, you doing good. Do this. Watch this on the backside. He's trying to front you on it. Thad Young is really trying to teach these young boys.
Regardless, I think that's just what the missing piece is. And I think that's where these turnovers come from. Right. And I know that we watched the game, we saw that stuff, but you have to understand when you are a Zach and you're asking for a traditional point and stuff like that, that's how you get 7 turnovers, because you're being forced to do things that technically you shouldn't be forced to do within his position, right? And so let's be real. That's why Devin Booker has a Chris Paul. That's why Rajon Rondo was there to teach Trae Young and stuff like that, to handle in the game situations and stuff like that. So I think we're just one piece away from actually having a nice squad that can compete. I'm not going to sit there and jump up and say, yeah, we're 4th in the conference, but but I will say that we're just one piece away, and it's obvious. It's obvious that we have the talent. It's obvious we have the firepower. I mean, let's be honest. I'm not trying to say get rid of Kobe's 20 points. We need them 20 points. We need that 33 from LaVine. We need 23 from Laurie, who actually out of all the players had the best plus minus on the floor, which is really, I mean, that's really what you need, because it looked like he really killed it on the defensive rebound. So, I mean, he's really doing his thing. So guess what? But we need to go ahead. Probably he's fighting for his contract, so we probably need to pay that man. But hopefully, I think we should. I think he's actually a piece that we need. So it's, again, I think we get better as we get acclimated to Billy's system and things of that nature. But at the same time, I know that we need one piece, and this is still an evaluation year from us. We can't take every game. Like, it's just a tough loss. It was just a tough loss.
It's one that hurt. It's one that hurt for sure.
I don't put any stock in this particular game or this season really to sit there and say, okay, this is the team moving forward. We're figuring that part out. And I'm willing to bet that half of this roster is not going to be there for next season.
I can't argue that, because I think there's a lot of, I mean, you look at you paid Denzel Valentine to stick around, a little bit of money, not nothing major, but you paid him to stick around to see what you have. He's not getting minutes on the floor. Garrett Temple's getting 16 minutes, but it's one of those like, all right, well, what's he bringing to the floor?
A lot of Lonzo in the chat. The Lonzo love is the Ball brothers get a lot of love for some odd reason. But Lonzo been balling lately, though. I ain't gonna lie.
He did not re-up with the
Lonzo didn't get a re-up on his contract either.
He declined.
He declined his contract. He's betting on himself, which I'm not mad at. And if you're looking for the traditional point, Lonzo ain't scoring. And Lonzo really ain't looking to score. Now, Lonzo can score. Yeah. So if you're thinking that what we saw tonight is maybe Kobe White's max in this NBA, maybe that is a guy that you go after. Maybe you do make a move on a Kobe White and you bring in somebody like Alonzo Ball to facilitate and set up the offense, because that's all he does. He plays great.
85 tonight.
And you get that defense on the other end. He had what you said?
16, 8, and 5 tonight versus San Antonio.
And that's what I'm saying. And you look at and you get that defense on the other end. If you bring in somebody like Alonzo, you're getting now you have Lonzo Ball, Pat Will, and Wendell Carter Jr., all guys who are defensive first guys, or Daniel Gafford. I'm not gonna slander Wendell tonight because he played well. I'm not gonna slander Wendell tonight because he played well.
Side note,
but you have
is it worth picking up or even taking a look at LiAngelo?
No,
that's not what we need.
We got LiAngelo. It's Denzel Valentine.
We don't need that.
Same dude.
I wouldn't say all that. I would say all that.
Wait, who's that more slanderous towards? More slanderous towards Denzel or LiAngelo?
LiAngelo.
This is the kind of talent y'all got in the NBA. Oh, he never recovered from that.
I think about it. You know what? The Lonzo fit would be nice. I actually can feel that. I actually would trade Kobe White straight up for Lonzo Ball. I would. Long. Hey, what is he? 6'7"? Yeah, he's 6'7". Long stretch the point. He actually is having more confidence in his shot. I think he had 5 steals tonight too. I don't
think that's a slight on either side to either point guard.
No,
I don't think so either. It's just put him in a position where they could. Well,
you're not sending Kobe. You're not sending Kobe nowhere bogus.
No, that's the thing. You're sending Kobe to a to a New Orleans team who. And listen, I'm not here. It sounds like we all in favor of trading Kobe. I'm not. I want to see him grow. But if you are going to make that trade, if you are going to make a trade like that, you're sending him to a Pelicans team where Zion Williams is going. You said what?
I want to see him grow too over there.
No. You're sending them to a Pelicans team that is built on Zion Williamson being great, and if he gets stuck, let me kick it out to a shooter.
Yeah, I think that fits.
That fits what he's trying to do. Or it's Brandon Ingram. Let me drive this ball in. If I get stuck, let me kick it out to a shooter. You know what I'm saying? So it definitely could. They definitely both could grow. So I see Fire AK in the chat already. We're not even acknowledging that. So what
improvement from Kobe White do we need? I
just want to see Kobe grow more. I'm not ready. I'm nowhere near ready to give up on Kobe White.
What does the growth look like? Pause. Like, what does the growth look like?
Oh. Why is that a pause?
Okay. All right. Concerned.
Whoa there. Whoa there. Honestly, I don't think it's sad because it feels like we're picking on Kobe a little bit. I know it seems like I do. It seems like I pick on Kobe.
You definitely do.
I'm really not. I don't think that it's just every team has an identity and stuff like that. And until we get that veteran leadership there, we don't have. Kobe doesn't have that. He doesn't have that veteran pull him aside to keep him under control at the point guard position.
Yeah,
I can't ask someone who hasn't excelled at the point guard position to come teach him the point guard position, right? So, and at this point, we don't need that. We don't need an extended 2 guard. We got a 2 guard. That's not his game. Just doesn't translate to what we need here. And when he gets the ball, I'm be honest with you. It doesn't look like the offense runs well. He's not running the offense well. And I know it's a new system, all that stuff, but you see good point guards when they come in the game.
The offense moves better when Sato's in the game.
Yeah,
it really
because
does.
He's not looking to score. He's looking.
The offense absolutely moves better when Sato. But I think that the problem that we see with a Kobe White sometimes is that he's thinking too much. He's thinking, I need to make the play.
He plays best when he's looking for.
And anybody tell you when you're in your head too much in basketball, you've already lost.
Wendell Carter. I think he finally just came out and said, I'm gonna play. And listen, he played well against James Wiseman, who's been playing well.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? A rookie, understandably. A rookie, understandably, but he's been playing well.
Highlighted to play well against a rookie says a lot. It says more about the rookie than.
But you know what? I think he played well against Looney. I think he played well against Pascal. 2 guys who have been defense. He held his own. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that I think he's gonna come in and do that every night. But I hope so. Prove me wrong.
I want it.
If you could have seen all the prove me wrongs in the chat. Everybody wants to be proven wrong. That's the thing.
The game. I need at least a 10 and 10.
Let's check out these questions they got for us in here real quick, and then we're gonna look ahead to Wednesday's game versus Washington, and then we're gonna get up out of here. Here's one from Nate Diaz. Who do y'all think deserves more minutes as of now, Valentine or Temple? I think Temple gonna play better than we saw. I think he's trying to figure out where he's at on the floor.
Temple is actually trying to communicate on defense, and Valentine is trying to shoot threes. So like that's the difference.
I mean, Valentine's definitely a better passer.
That's all I got to say about that. You can sit there and say who deserves more minutes. But it's like, all right, this trash can or this trash can? It's like, okay. you let me know. In all seriousness, I think Temple's going to perform better at this particular stage. So just answering you directly.
One more from Devontae Gibson. Why do we have to wait for you to be in the NBA to be great at a position you played your whole life? I understand player got to grow, but
I love
the level of competition doesn't mean anything to you all.
I think it absolutely does.
The level of competition is extremely.
But at the same time, we're not asking Kobe to play the position he's played his whole life either.
To me, the biggest difference is the one at high school and the one at college and the one at a professional level means completely different things.
There are certain things that translate well. And let's take Lonzo Ball, for example, right? We knew that he knew how to run the floor, get the ball out, control the offense and stuff like that, right? He's been doing it his whole life. And what has he done consistently, though? He's done that part well.
Yeah.
Right.
right? He just don't shoot that well, or hasn't shot that well. But the stuff that he does well is defend and control the offense, right? He's been doing this whole life. He didn't need to grow into that, right?
Right.
I don't know what's going on with Kobe. I know that we're asking him to do things that it's clear that he's not comfortable doing. It shows. Well, you can pull up the tape and see it. It's like the guy doesn't look that comfortable unless he's going for the bucket, and that's okay, right? That's okay. We have to realize we're not putting him in the best position to win, and that ultimately affects our team. I personally think that's.
I think that's the biggest thing with it. I think that's the biggest thing with it. We're not putting him in a position to be his most successful.
Exactly.
And 3 different Kobe
with Kobe White. Who, Kobe?
Yeah.
No, Kobe's only had Boylan.
Okay.
He just got it last year. But I think the thing is with Kobe White, it could be how you evaluate Mitch. You know what I'm saying? You're trying to force him into something that he hasn't been.
Yeah.
You're trying to force him into being a facilitator. He hasn't been that. He's been a bucket, and he's facilitated based off of that. His assist numbers in college literally come from, I'm driving into the paint. Oh, my God, everybody collapsed on me because I'm one of the best scorers here. I'm going to kick it out, and you're going to have an open shot.
Right.
And you got to knock it down. And I also think Kobe numbers do look a lot better if the Bulls can knock down wide open three-pointers in the corner more consistently.
Yeah. That would help a lot.
Just a little bit, just
a little bit, bro. I mean, I think the weird thing is, like, it's not that Kobe's not a bad facilitator, but he's definitely still learning how to do it. Yeah. Like, you can clearly see that. It's like you'll see him throw a pass, like he'll throw a pass between somebody's legs to Wendell, and Wendell can one-hand it. You'll be like, see, okay, he getting it. And then on the next play, he'll try to throw it over the top to Wendell, and he'll throw it into like 4 Golden State Warriors. And you'd be like,
dog, what are you doing?
How did you do it? You know what I'm saying?
Does he really does he have a floater?
Kobe? Yeah, Kobe got a floater, but Kobe want to shoot that bill.
To me, it's like, okay, cool. If you run a screen roll and it's not there for Wendell, the pass isn't natural to pass out of that once you get yourself in the paint. The floater will help.
But he's trying to find his way into this system. Just like Wendell, everybody's trying to find their way into this system. We're not going to see what this I really think we'll see what this Bulls team can do. One, because they didn't have, and Devontae, absolutely right. They didn't have a training camp, really. Mm-hmm. They didn't have time to get in there and learn Billy Donovan's system as they're coming into the season. They literally are learning the system. Billy Donovan sent them into the first game versus OKC and was like, just run. Yeah. But, Coach, don't you want us to work? No, run. You haven't ran in 9 months. Please, just run.
Yeah. No, we're definitely at the stage of beginning of Coach Carter, where he was like, we've been working on defense for 3 weeks. You've been working about the offense. Just run.
Just run, for real.
Just run.
And so I think you're going to see this team. We'll know what this team is by the end of this 10-game stretch that is very tough.
Yeah.
But I think by game 15, if we're still seeing the same, like, Wendell kind of doesn't know where to throw the pass at the top of the key. Kobe White can't figure out which guy to throw it to. Mm-hmm. Then we know, all right, y'all got it. You know, we're going to have to move on from y'all because you're not understanding a system that is a good system, a system that we've seen do well versus some of the best teams in the NBA.
Yeah. And shout out to Matt in the comments for his contributions. He being there with us. He had some great points. You know, he needs to let the game come to him. He definitely does. Just let the game come to him. Let the game come to him and take his time. I think he's rushing it a little bit, but guess what? You know, that's like you mentioned, no training camp, no real opportunity to get the one thing I don't want to say is he hasn't had an opportunity to bond with the people that's on the team because we really didn't make that many moves. So, so like some of this is like, you know, I hear it. We didn't have a training camp and stuff like that. Then it at what point does it become an excuse? Because if I get paid to hoop with you on a consistent basis and this is what we're doing, then at a certain point, I need to know how to make an entry pass to you in the post. I need to know how to get Zach in his spots and stuff like that. That's kind of like
I think the biggest thing we're seeing is they're literally trying to break old habits.
Yeah.
You see him on the court, like you see him every now and then. They'll go through like 2 drives of like, oh, that look like Jim Boylan behind the bench, and then immediately you get timeout. Get the fuck over here.
I think they know it's more so him growing as a point guard will be okay. Let me see who I can get started instead of just looking at, let me get started myself.
Right.
Because honestly, like we saw that, like I said, with the screen roll with Wendell, getting Larry his points and and Zach will get his because he'll just demand the ball before the half. Like, yo, just, let me go ahead and put my head down and take the basket.
The most damning part of it all is when we said the offense looked better with Sato running, and it's like, dude doesn't even contribute that much. But if the offense looks better with that type of guy,
right,
and we feel comfortable moving forward with that type of offense, then guess what? Eventually, we're gonna have to start making some changes to have that type of flow. Because ultimately, let me ask you this: if we had that type of flow, if the offense looked like that all night, do you think we'd be this close in this game? Do you think we win this game?
If we had, what you mean?
So if let's say Sato started the whole game,
and
the offense looked as good as it did when he was on the floor, you think we win this game? You think we'd have 24 turnovers?
I think we would still have the turnovers because I think that, like I said, a lot of them is just old bad habits.
Yeah, other players
like you literally see Lowry on one turnover was literally Lowry on one side of the court. He looks across, he sees Pat Will, and he throws it the length of the court.
Hey, Baki just killed us.
What do you say?
Hey, Baki. So what you saying is, see, put that up there. That's a good one right there, Baki. I see you. I see you.
What y'all saying is,
you, my boy. Yeah, you
Garpex draft picks doesn't understand their roles. What a shocker. LOL. He's not wrong.
Hey.
Facts, Baki.
I don't. Hey, listen. I'm done at that note.
I could not argue with that.
Baki always coming with the facts, man. Let's look ahead to this Washington Wizards game on Tuesday. I mean, you got Russ Westbrook, Brad Beal coming through. Another 0-3 team, though. Listen, like I said, the East is,
and they are 0-3.
Very top heavy.
They are 0-3 with the with Russ coming in off 2 triple doubles.
Yeah. I look at this game. It's a game that definitely is interesting.
Didn't they not have Bradley Beal in one of those games though?
I think
that roster has gone through some tweaks the last couple.
Yeah, I believe that first game they didn't have Bradley Beal as well.
Who was guarding? Who's picking up Russ? Is Kobe?
Well, you're gonna play that drop. You're gonna play the drop defense. So essentially, everybody's picking up Russ, depending on where he's at on the floor.
Russ didn't play tonight. Yeah, I kind of figured something.
Yeah, Russ didn't play tonight. I think he was out.
To me, they don't just. It's like it's a catch-22 because I don't believe they discuss or they communicate enough on the defensive end to even be in a zone effectively.
Right.
But man to man, everybody gets exposed on a pick and roll, like they will get chopped up.
Right.
So
let's be real. We're not looking for a Bulls win. We're looking for consistent play. We're just looking for limiting some turnovers, seeing some rhythm. We're not
improving upon your mistakes.
Yeah. If they win, that's the plus, right? I'm not looking for that because I understand where we are. We are evaluating the talent we have. We're letting Billy do his thing. So I'm not looking for a win. You got a guy that was snubbed at 31-6-5 last, what was 31-6-5, something like that. And then you got Mr. Triple Double over there who's actually balling out a little bit when he is on the floor. I'm not expecting us to overpower that. And they actually got a decent squad around them. We're not a better team than that team. Right? Just on paper, just talent-wise, all things being equal, and at this point it really is. It's a new system for him, new system for us. Right. Guess what? They're a better team, and that's okay. It's okay to sit there and admit that. We know we need to make some moves. So I just want to see us limit the turnovers and just compete. I'm not expecting to win. I want a close game. And so I'm looking at a Washington win. I'm just hoping that we have some consistency. I'm hoping Laurie gets back. I'm hoping Zach does his thing. And I'm hoping that, Kobe actually does his thing because he will match up with Russ. Right. I don't want to see him get exposed, but I mean, it's Russell Westbrook.
And I think that's the biggest thing. You want to just see them improve based on, listen, if the Bulls start off 0-4, it sucks.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We had optimism for this team coming into the season. We're saying, okay, this team could be a 500 team at least. You know what I'm saying? If they start off 0-4, you start looking at those expectations being like, I mean, we could win 27.
No, but
we can win 28. You know what I'm saying?
I think Billy is looking for them to get tired
just
of
keep
getting
improving.
Beat up at some point, especially with these next 10, 12 games.
And I think that's what we saw. Listen, what did he ask of them in the previous game? Don't be mentally weak. Don't get down and keep getting down. Yeah. Get back up and punch them back in the mouth. We saw the Bulls do that tonight.
Right.
Now, Golden State ends up getting the knockout blow, but we saw the Bulls continue to get back up. Even Rocky lost a couple of movies.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Good point. Good point. Quick update. Larry Markkinen just will be reevaluated tomorrow, but he is ruled as having a calf contusion, so it doesn't look like there was an ankle injury like I thought he had.
Yeah, I thought it was ankle.
I thought it was ankle. It seems like it's a calf contusion. So just a side note on that one. Just want to get that in there.
That's a big difference.
Right, you got to wrap it
That's
up.
a big difference.
That's more of a nagging.
Yeah, that's a nagging injury that'll stick with you all season. That's a big difference. You know what I'm saying? And especially in a contract year, you hate to hear that for Lowry.
Hate to hear it too. And at the same time, KD was ruled as having a calf injury too.
Yeah, and then KD spent the entire season on the bench.
Yeah, so, just want to throw that out there for those who want to update on it. That kind of changes our scope for what Wednesday will look like. So let's prepare not to have him available. Let's just 50-50, at least not 100%.
3 or 4.
I would say, I'm not gonna lie to you. I would say give this lineup a shot and see how this moves moving forward. Sato starts, Kobe at the 2, Zach at the 3, Pat Will plays your 4, Wendell or Gafford at the 5.
So that's a small lineup. It's not small.
Who's small?
Oh, that's a fact.
Kobe 6'5", Sato 6'5", Zach is 6.
I don't want to see Kobe sticking Brad Beal though.
You said what?
I don't want Kobe sticking Brad Beal. That dude getting cooked.
Listen, I don't want Kobe sticking Russ either.
That dude getting I'd rather him stick Russ than Brad Beal.
But here's the thing: if you got Sato on the floor, you've got a better. So have him stick Russ then. You just because he's playing the 2 don't mean he got to guard the 2.
I love what your lineup does for our offense, but defensively, especially, I hope we got a different scheme. I hope we do a zone or something like that because
Sato gonna get ate up too.
Sato getting killed, and we setting up 2 people to get dogged. I'm not doing that. I can't do that.
Who else would you play though?
Listen, I honestly, that's a good question.
And that's the thing.
I said you gotta go zone. You can't man up on that one. You got 2 dogs on that.
I think you gotta play a zone style defense anyway, like we saw him do tonight. And listen, if Russ want to shoot all night, let him shoot all night. Russ shot 29% last season. Let him shoot all night.
Now,
if Russ is playing, they said he was out due to illness. I don't know if that's COVID related or not.
What advantage Kobe might give us is if
6'5",
if that part too, but if he was able to make Russ actually play defense on the offensive end, and by that I mean like making him run around. So if we could either bring Kobe
Russ don't mind running around.
I know, but my brother do got a lot of energy.
That's what Russ do. Russ is 32 years old. He like, I'm trying to run.
He definitely is. But if that is like that will keep. It would just bring a different dynamic. It makes them play different.
Yeah.
If any good NBA player, if all they have to worry about is the
one side of the ball, I get you.
Then it's easy pickings.
I think the thing is with that lineup, now you have somebody who can set up your lineup. You have somebody who can score. You have 2 guys who can score in your lineup. You have Pat Will on a mismatch almost all night. I don't know who's running the 4 for
the Wizards.
Oh, it'd probably be Denny, wouldn't it? Is Denny starting over there?
Yeah, I should have pulled that up. That's my fault.
No, you good. Let me look at this right here.
That's my fault. I will say this. I don't want any of our guys on the island. So if we did do that lineup, I will say this: it has to be a zone. Has to.
I think it has to be a zone.
On the island is getting cooked, and that's okay. It's okay to say you're getting cooked by a better player. You getting cooked, dog. It's not. Here's
the thing: the Wizards are not a scary lineup either. Brad Beal, scary. Russell Westbrook, if he plays, scary. Other than that, Denny Avdija struggling, trying to figure out where he belongs in the NBA. Bonga, who is that small forward? Yeah, okay. You didn't even know he existed until I just said his name. Don't stunt. And then you got Thomas Bryant at center.
Nito got busy tonight, though. You said I know who he was. I'm not big on him. I'm still trying to figure out how that whole situation gonna work out because he's a guard.
Exactly. But I'm saying that's not a lineup that strikes fear into you defensively. Like you don't go into that game like we're not gonna be able to stop anybody on this court. You go into that game worrying about Bradley Beal, and you go into that game worrying about Russell Westbrook if he plays. And listen, if he plays, if you go into that game worrying about him, they might be able to get something done.
If they can control the 3, 4, and 5 positions on both ends, then it's a game.
Yeah.
But here's how it's a walking triple double.
Yeah. There's the one thing I look at, right? I take today's game as an example. They lost by 7, right? They didn't have Russ. And they played Orlando, who's a much better team than people give them credit for. They're better than we are right now. So at this point, I look at it like full strength. Washington wins that game. Full with their full roster. It's another game I saw where they missed
the game.
Yeah. So I'm looking at a team that had the potential of going 2-1 coming into us, and we're definitive 0-3, right? And so with that being the case, it's like, again, I literally will watch that game and not look at the box score. Not look at the score. I want to just see how our players respond to that type of pressure. You have 2 elite players coming into the we playing. They coming to us, or we going to them?
I believe we are going to Washington. Yes, we're going to Washington.
We went to Washington. I just want to see how they respond to it. And that's all I want. Just see how you respond, get consistent stuff like that. That's it. That's really all it is.
For sure.
Don't go in there with any high expectations. If we get a win, that's a plus. But we might be down one of our key contributors right now, being Laurie, which I don't think he's going to be back for the game. But it wouldn't be smart to let him rest for the week.
Let him rest. I wouldn't bring him back at the fact that if he's out, if he's gimpy, see what you got at Pat Will at the 4. See what other guys you can work in. See what you got at Daniel Gafford. Daniel Gafford got no tick tonight.
We got too deep of a team to even be worried about it. So it's like this is.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, listen, in that situation, if you're playing Kobe at the 2, see what you got at Devin Dotson backing him up.
I would like Wendell and Gabbert both playing Twin Towers.
I'm not mad. You limited offensively in that lineup.
Yeah.
You're offensively limited in that lineup. I wouldn't be mad at that lineup if you know that Gafford and Wendell are going to come out and clamp up whoever's standing across from them. Like if they're going to completely take 2 players out of the game, absolutely. Yeah. But if it's, well, hold on though. Wendell did say he's more comfortable at the 4, and that might be the time to see. I don't know. That's an interesting one. But we appreciate you guys for joining the live. Let us know how you feel. Bulls do fall 129-128 off of a game winner. That was a tough one. But we appreciate it. Oh, word? But hey, I'll be doing that too. Sometimes you got to check in, just see how many people in there. We appreciate y'all for joining, man. Continue. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you subscribe to the page because we do talk Chicago sports weekly. I'm gonna get up out of here. My boy AD coming through for the play-by-play. As always, P.Kidd on the post-game show. It is your boy, Pat the Designer, back at it again to continue watching our Chicago Bulls content. Click the links in the description below. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago.
Yes, sir.
Peace.